Commissioners.
Morning.
Today I want to add another tool to your financial tool belt by introducing to you the benefits of seller financing. Also want to identify the key players that you'll need to properly pay for your process, and then I'll wrap it up with a case study to kind of bring the 2 points home. In today's environment, it's very difficult to sell your property, whether for all cash, whether it's residential, commercial, or if it resides in a shelter belt, right? But if you're able to do so, and if you're motivated, you're probably going to take it yourself for a lower valuation than what you really want. So with seller financing, I think you'd be able to conquer both these problems by offering the buyer an option and getting a better valuation for you. So what are the benefits of seller financing? Well, there's multiple, but I'm going to limit it to 4 today. All right. First one is it will widen your pool of potential buyers. Okay? In real estate, it's a numbers game. The more buyers that you have, the better chance you're going to sell your property for the valuation that you want. Correct? So these days, banks are not financing or lending to people with some of the best credit. So you can fill that void by becoming the bank yourself. Okay? If you become the bank, now your potential buyers, your universe expands exponentially. The possibility to sell your property at the value you want grows. Correct? Second, it provides monthly cash flow and financial discipline. Right? Oh, who here knows someone that's won the lottery? Well, we just have a. That was tailor-made. So we have two people that won the lottery. One wants to 8-bedroom with a garden and no bathrooms, and the other person wants to add on and put a symphony to it. But a lot of times people win the lottery and they end up worse than when they started because they don't know how to manage their cash. Well, I guess having no bathrooms will help with saving your money, but nonetheless, people have problems. With seller financing, it provides, it conquers these issues. It provides monthly cash flow. So if you go out and spend all your money on entertainment or go on the symphony every day of the week, the next month you get a check in the mail and you get to do the same thing over and over again. So that provides a little bit of financial discipline that most of us don't have individually. The third point is deferred taxes. With seller financing, you're able to defer your capital gains tax over time. If you sell your property for all cash, a lump sum, then you have to pay your capital gains in the year of the sale. So I'm going to use an example. If you sell it for $250, capital gains rate this year is 15%. Next year will probably be 20%. So $40,000 this year or $50,000 next year. That's a lot. But with seller financing, you're able to spread that out over time or over the term of your loan. And if you're diligent with it, or if you have Stephen Kane as your accountant, he may even help you get rid of those taxes over time anyway. So that helps. Time is always a benefit. Your fourth benefit to seller financing is investing in what you know. Okay. So say, for instance, you sold your commercial property or your residential house, and now you have two options. Either you can stick it in the bank and get little interest, but it's very safe, or you can suffer from reinvestment risk. So you either put it in the stock market, and if you did that 8 months ago, you'd have half your money. So, or you could take a note, and 9 times out of 10, if you go on this property 5, 10, 15 years, you know that property far better than you know any other investment. So you can get a modest interest rate, and you don't suffer from the reinvestment risk that may jeopardize your principal, or may not give you the return that you originally had. Right? So those are your four benefits of seller financing. Widen your potential buyer base, supply monthly cash flow and financial discipline, deferred taxation for capital gains, and then invest in what you know. Okay? So now that we know what our benefits are, who are our team members that are going to help us pay for the process? Well, you need 3. You need a real estate attorney. A real estate attorney is going to draft your mortgage and help you with your due diligence. You need a CPA like Stephen Kane who understands real estate taxation. Okay, he's going to help you with the installment sale form that I'm going to go over in just a few minutes, and also with your 1099 process. You know, if you receive interest income, you have to send a 1099 to the individual that you received it from and the federal government. Okay, and then finally, I think you need a third-party servicer for your note. So, say for instance, I sell it to Mark Galbraith over here, and he sends his payment to me, and we have a difference in timing. Well, the amortization schedule, which is kind of deep, but it's based on timing. So if he thinks over the years, he sent me his payment earlier than I'm receiving it, then it could change the principal of your note, and that's a little hairy. I can tell by Rich's face that that's a concept that maybe a little over his head. But way over. But the point is that if you have a third-party evaluator, then they'll track all this stuff, and it's not he said or she said, it's what the third party does, and they have a calculation. The good part about it, if you go to noteworld.com, they will do this for you. For $15 a month, they will receive your payment, and they will track your principal balance, and they'll send a statement to Philippe and every month. So it looks professional. So even if you have a house, you can, for $15 a month, it's a win. It's a win. All right, so now that we know what the benefits are and we know what our team members are, let's move on to an example. And I really don't want to go into the details of this because I think it's best that you go to a CPA to help you within the first couple of years. But that being said, I'm going to take a stab at this. All right, so actually, this is where I need Greg, and Dan, and Patricia to hand out the case study. So please share if you don't have one. Now, ultimately, the purpose of the installment sale calculation is to determine how much of the monies that you received are taxed by the capital gains rate. And why is that important? Well, the capital gains rate and your interest income, two separate calculations. Your interest income is based on your ordinary income tax rate. So, say for instance, what you make in salary is what your ordinary interest or your ordinary income tax rate would be, versus the property that you sell, again, is going to be at 15 to 20%. So capital gains rate is far less than the ordinary income tax rate. Okay, so that's what this whole calculation is about. Just to say that. Before we get started on the assumptions, I want you to flip back to the form 6252. Okay, that's the third page of this package. This is the primary form for this calculation. All the rest of the forms are just feeds. Okay. So again, I'm just getting you familiar with what these forms look like, so that when you go and talk to Stephen about the process, you can ask a better question. You can understand what papers he's providing you as he's preparing your tax return. Okay. Okay. So now that we know what the 6252 looks like, I want to flip back to the front page. It's a little awkward, and just walk you through a quick case study so we understand a few numbers. So let's assume that you sold whatever parcel for $250,000. Okay, you negotiate with the seller that you're willing to accept 15% down. So you get about $37,500 in cash up front. That means that you're going to carry a mortgage, the difference between your sales price and your down payment, of $212,500. Third line of your assumptions. You agree to a 7% interest rate. Not bad. Over time, in the stock market, 7% is pretty much what you're going to get. And I think in the 90s, it may be higher. But over time, 7% is good. Okay. And you say you're going to carry this note for 360 months. That means your payment is going to be $1,440.